I want to do a quick introduction before I say anything. In the previous video, I was speaking about, the possibility of sound waves maybe being the answer to spirits. It was actually radio waves, which is more relevant to sound waves and such. But our brains could be somehow hardwired to look at them visually through the radio waves. You never know. We still don't know much about radio waves and potential, what they can actually do. There's another little thing I've been learning about from this documentary. I must give credit to Jesse Ventura and his conspiracy theories series. I know you can watch it on True TV, on any cable network that you use. But they've been speaking about this heart machine, which could potentially bring out mind control. And, getting back to the sound wave theory, think of maybe the government could be creating certain illnesses such as schizophrenia, making people think that through waves that they have no control over, think they're speaking and seeing other people. I'm not doubting the fact of spirits or any of that sort. That's totally different, topic, and you're starting to find very close evidence that they are possible, whether dimensionally or, it could be of some material that, like ectoplasm, I believe is possible. I'm not 100%. I know it's a Ghostbuster reference and all, but ectoplasm I believe is real, or possible. We're still looking into dark matter. Before I trail off on this, get back to the, mind control. Our brains are so diverse and so creative, and as you'll see during this, and I'm sorry I'm not editing through parts of it, making it smaller. Hey, that's why you can always fast forward in videos. Anyways, our government just hides so many secrets. I just want to put that out there. Hey, everybody has their secrets the way I look at it. I have nothing against the government. I just do my thing. I'm a normal U.S. citizen, living life, trying to speak my mind, being free. Hey, Second Amendment, freedom of speech, throwing it out there. But anyways, this is for you guys to decide and put your opinions out there. Speak your mind. Be free. Think outside the box, Just don't look at the black and white. Look at the gray. Hey, maybe there's some purple or green thrown in there for you. Live life. And, as you'll see, it is possible. Mind control is possible, but could the government be doing it and creating such a thing as schizophrenia, or maybe even something worse? Maybe it was an accident, and somehow genetically it got created into a gene. You never know. If evolution somewhat is possible, I might add, not the way Darwin looks at it, but in a different way. Not just humans, animals, we're all adapting. So basically evolution means is to adapt, to survive, surroundings to become the better. All in all, I'm a Christian, wholeheartedly. Born, raised Roman Catholic, and believe in God and all. Amen. But just to add a little side note here, you never know. what could our brains be doing? Could have been an accident. Could this idea of schizophrenia, this theory I've created, this could be an accident for the government and eventually led through somehow an evolutionary way turned into a gene that just struck. Because, you know, during the 1950s, mind control was starting to be developed. And that's when a lot of quote-unquote schizophrenics were starting to come around. In the 1940s, 1950s. That's when it really started getting noticed. I mean, hey, could have been there before. It could be just, you know, a normal gene that we have. But maybe this will give some different kind of insight on things. That's for you to decide. Anyways, here we go.
All that may be dangerous enough, but Nick Begich says he's most worried about HAARP's ability to interfere with your mind.
Obviously, they deny it,
sure.
But what we produced was their own documents. You know, these are Air Force, Navy, military documents that actually lay this out. It's their own words, not our words.
You know, Doctor, what you're saying to me is scary. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you're talking about something that can be done with mind control to where you can affect people's minds and they don't even know it.
That's correct.
And this is masses of people.
Right.
They can do it at a level where you could be walking down the street and you could get infiltrated with these sound waves and you wouldn't even know that they were hitting you.
That's right. And there's two different ways. One would be transferring voice information, and the other would be just affecting you on an emotional level, which is much simpler, which is easily accomplished by HAARP. The human body and the mind is able to pick a signal out. Like going through the radio station, you're dialing through the station, you get all the static. As soon as you get resonance, harmony between the transmitter and receiver, you get a nice clear signal. The same is true in terms of the human chemistry, in terms of our chemistry, our cell structure, body organs, or the brain.
Jesse Ventura has his doubts that the HAARP antennas can broadcast radio waves that influence people's thoughts. But Nick Begich is prepared for the skeptics.
Now, this is a device that friends of mine in Germany designed, and we had demonstrated in the European Parliament in an open hearing a cruder version, but it made our point. This is just a standard CD player, and what these are is piezoelectric transducers, and in simple language, they carry a signal that can enter the nervous system so that you can get that proverbial voice in the head. And so by activating this, placing these electrodes, you know, on the surface of the skin, blocking the ears tightly, you'll hear the music just as if your ears were playing it, but the ears have nothing to do with it. The eighth cranial nerve, the part that connects to the brain, has nothing to do with it. It's a different way.
Is that working right now?
Yeah, we can get it cranked up here.
Crank it up. I want to try it. So in other words, I can touch this to my neck and hear it without my ears hearing it, and no one else in the room will hear it.
That is correct. I want you to block your ears really tightly so you can't hear it.
And, I want to add, you know, this is a way, possibly, for deaf people to be able to hear. You know, think about it. Listening through the nerves. And as it goes on, you'll understand. This could be a innovation. Any of you inventors, pick up this idea. Hey, what's up? Give me mad props for somebody to do this. Put this out there to help them out. You know, they can listen too. Be a whole new experience. Whole new way of life. You know, we already have the possibility of creating voices. Why not give them the ability to hear? Just a different way. Let's continue.
Still ahead, HAARP invades Jesse Ventura's brain. The incredible conclusion.
Wow.
All new next Wednesday at 10. Explosives in the desk. Maybe not.
want you to block your ears really tightly so you can't hear it.
Jesse Ventura was skeptical about claims that the HARP antennas in remote Alaska have the power to control people's minds, including yours and his. Now, Dr. Nick Begich is showing him how the HARP transmitter can send a signal directly to his brain.
Wow.
So what did you hear?
Well, I heard music,
Right.
but it's strange because I listened to try to figure out where the music was coming from, and it seemed like right here.
Right.
It sounded like I was hearing
Right.
it almost through the top of my head or my forehead.
Right. With HARP, when you start to look at this signal, not just transferring sound information, but just to affect the brain with emotional state changes, is so easily accomplished.
So we got mind control?
Absolutely. In fact, if you go back historically, back to the 1960s when all of this work really started, the idea of mind control experiments, one of the guys that the New York Times reported was one of those experimental subjects was a Unabomber. And if you remember, he attacked people who were involved.
I apologize, the 1960s was when mind control really started. I'm going to go with the video. I believe it kind of had a little catch on in the 50s. I'm not too sure. It's just something I remember from a time ago. Maybe I misheard, was misled, but anyways, let's continue.
In technology, was that the result of the experiment? It's because the U.S. military admits over 8,000 servicemen alone were used in these experiments. This technology is relatively simple. You can get the components off the shelf. You just have to have the technical knowledge to understand how to dial it in. Just like dialing in that radio station we were talking a while back. In between it's static, but when you get resonance between that transmitter receiver, things start to happen. And in the earth, things start to happen. Where you already have something unstable, you can trigger that earthquake. Terrorists possess technologies that could create earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, modify weather. Terrorists. It's not just about weather modification. These guys can knock aircraft out of the sky. They can disable satellites, knock them literally into neutral where they can't even work. This is the kind of thing that you can wage war without even knowing the war has been waged. Covert war is not something that's new to this country, but with this technological twist, it throws a whole new flavor on all of it.
So in layman's terms, you're almost talking about an invisible death ray?
Actually, the guy who originated the death ray concept was a guy named Nikola Tesla. He was a guy that developed an AC current that runs all of our households today. But he had a concept on the death ray that was presented to the government just before World War II. Those papers are cited in Bernard Eastland's patents. This is the death ray.
Jesse Ventura and his team head home from Alaska. The things that...
Anyways, guys, I just want to throw that little extra bit in because it seemed very interesting. I know the video was a little long, but anyways, about my schizophrenia theory, think about it. Mind control. It's possible. Who would be doing it? You just said terrorists have the capability of this same machine, which can do also weather manipulation and knock satellites and planes out of the sky. I mean, it's just incredible and very scary. But my whole theory on the schizophrenia again, you know, and hearing voices and such, think a little bit deeper. Think. It'd be somebody trying to tell you something. Somebody trying to control you. You never know. Just be careful out there. Be safe. Until next time. Peace.